So I want to welcome everyone to this event. And there's a lot going on for everybody. People have been asking me, why, Michelle? It's so hot outside and it's the week before the 4th of July. But there's also a ton that's going on in the marketplace that really, really can't wait. And so we're going to take a collective deep breath and just set these next 2 hours aside because the things that you're going to hear today from our group of speakers have the ability to just transform your business and just change the trajectory because what used to work is no longer working. It is probably the biggest shift that we've seen in a long time. So what's happening today is Glenn is here with us. He's going to be monitoring the chat. I have hand selected this group of speakers. And so what we're doing is we're following the lead from what's changing. Well, the Google search has changed. And so what do you need to do to adapt? So we're going to start with getting the lead. And then what happens once you get the lead, I'm going to turn it over to AJ, and he's going to talk about his incredible innovation with Broccoli software that answers the phone 24/7, can make outbound calls and do so much. In this episode, we also allowed every speaker to bring a contractor buddy. So a contractor buddy is here to talk about the products and the services that the speaker has so the contractor can hear for themselves the benefit of using and adapting to some of this technology. From there, we're going to Logan. He's going to talk about the techs. And so what if you could make your techs more efficient with tools so that when they are out in the field, they could solve problems quicker, they could make things happen faster, and you could have somebody else is wanting to record, and you could have your customers happier because you're solving problems quicker than you ever have before. Now, once you have the customer, what are you doing about referrals? There's an old way that we went about getting referrals, and then there's also a new way to get referrals and really turn your clients into revenue producing machines where everybody wins. And so Don, from Volca is going to talk about that. And then people are overwhelmed, right? Even those of us in the digital space, the AI is coming up so quickly. So where do you start with AI? Like, what tools should you use? And I invited the dynamic duo of Josh and Tersch, but Tersch is on vacation. So I guess, Josh, you're the dynamic solo.
That's all right. You got the better half of the duo
That's
anyways.
what I've been told. And so Josh is going to wrap up the event. Like, now that you are have heard about all these tools and technology, how do you bring it together? And what I like so much about what Josh and Tersch are providing is they actually have a program that you can participate on a month-to-month basis so that you can start learning how to implement these tools. So that's what we're doing today. It's AI for the trades. And what this event is, so let me tell you quick, the Masters of HVAC Marketing, I created this event because the old way of doing things was contractors would go to a trade show maybe once a year and they would spend the rest of the year implementing the things that they learned. And those days are gone. So this is a brand new format, and I just want as much input as I can. But I thought from the contractor's point of view, with things changing as fast as they are, what if I gathered the brightest minds in the industry? And what if I picked a topic that was of relevance and I invited people to the table so that contractors could stay current on everything that's happening? So this is the third episode. It's the AI episode. And the arrangement here is that there's no PowerPoints. So it is a PowerPoint free zone. Every speaker it's more of a show and tell where every speaker is going to talk about the problem, talk about a solution. They can share their screen and demo the software. And then we also have contractors here that are going to talk about, well, their experience with using this tech. So without further ado, we're going to get going here, and I'm going to kick the topic off with the Google AI overview. It is probably the biggest change that we've seen in internet marketing since we went from yellow pages to internet marketing. It's that big. Glenn, I keep getting those approvals of people wanting to record. Can you take care of that, or is that something I have to do? I'm going to just keep going, but it's a little distracting. All right, so let's talk about the Google AI overview. What I'm going to share is the old way that things have been happening and the new way. And as a matter of fact, I just did a podcast with Kyle Gargaro from ACHR News. So you might want to listen to that. And Glenn, if you can put that in the chat, that would be great. But here's just a few little tidbits. We really saw the AI overview happening about mid-May. There was some signs that it was coming, but it was really mid-May. We just saw it. There it was. Boom, one day. Google AI overview. Josh, I saw your post. It was like one day, there it was. And what we noticed that it was happening in some markets, but not every market. And it was happening for some terms, but not every term. And that was mid-May. And so here we are towards the end of June, and we're seeing it roll out across every single market. So what we're talking about here is adapting. So where we used to have the website that did all the work for you, right? And it worked really well for the last 20 years. Build a good website, have a solid website, hire someone like Josh, have a lot of respect for the way he builds websites and the SEO that he does, have a quality digital agency that actually knows what they're doing. You guys get targeted really heavily by lots of people that don't know what they're doing. But hear me, I'm not saying that you don't need a good website, because you do. But it was never intended to be the only marketing asset that you have online. It was never intended to be that way. But because it worked and because people were getting results, they treated it as if it was the only thing. So I'm going to share my screen here. You're going to give me a little grace because sometimes Zoom makes me share my screen twice. So let's try it once and tell me if you see my screen. Nope, you see the strip. And then on take two, I'm going to share the screen. And hopefully you can see this. No. Let me give this a go. Okay, can you see my screen? Yep. Okay, good. All right. So what I was saying is that this AI overview, it's happening in just about every market, and and it looks different, and it's growing and it's evolving. So here's what I want to show you. And I'm in Louisville. I have no horse in the race in Louisville, but this is what it looks like in case you didn't know about it. This AI overview is now happening at the primo spot at the top of the search. And what Google is doing is it's going through the first page of search and it's scraping the content and it's looking to see who's there, who's got a website, what's happening. And Google likes three. There's typically three paid ads, there's typically three on the map, and they're choosing three contractors to be part of the AI overview. And you can see over here that it has got the Ductless dudes, Jarbos, and Tom Drexler. It's freaking contractors out because it's pushing the websites further down the search. The old game used to be I have to outrank my competitor, and now it's really unclear, like, well, what three contractors is Google choosing? And if I go scrolling down the page here, it's kind of a mishmash. Like over here, Tom Drexler, okay, he's over there. And if we scroll down in the organic search, we're going to see a map, which we are accustomed to seeing, three contractors on the map. And then we get into the organic search where you start seeing one, two, there's a discussion and forum, three, four, five, six, seven, eight contractors in the organic search. Now, when a contractor comes into my world, there's always two things that I'm looking at. How can I present my contractor to Google in a way that's going to differentiate them from every other contractor? Okay, that's first. The second thing is, how can I take my contractor and present him to the consumer in a way that's going to differentiate my contractor from every other contractor that wants the same thing? We're all chasing the same leads. All right. So, and you can go ahead if there's a question, put in the chat. Glenn, you let me know. But what I'm about to show you is something that most people don't even know that's possible. And so I'm going to talk to you. And if you walk away with anything, walk away with this: off-site marketing. You cannot get found frequently enough off of your website. Where? In a place that has relevancy and authority. So now I'm going to show you what the search looks like when I'm working with a contractor and we're deploying offsite marketing. Another way to say that would be to diversify your marketing. Your website was never intended to be the only way. So when I know, or when we started taking a look at this Google overview, well, how can we present my client in a way that they can actually score all three of the AI overview results? And so Corey Johnson is here, and you're going to hear from him for just a second. This is what it looks like when you start building your online footprint. So when I'm presenting him, when he came into my world, okay, I have got to present him over and above everybody else in his marketing, in his market, right? So how can I do that? Well, in this AI overview, I want you to see here, that's his website, okay? Over here, this is the press release that we did about a project. So contractors oftentimes have got, I call them trophy projects. And he did the historic Baxter Hotel where he renovated it. Well, that's a case study, and that's a press release. So Google picked up the press release and put it here in the three. And then down here is another page on his website. Now, I want you to look on the left. Here's the AI overview, and here's why every contractor just needs to jump on it right away. Look at how much space this contractor has. For Mitsubishi heat pump installation in Bozeman, Mountain Heating and Cooling is highly recommended, okay, especially for ductless systems. They're Bozeman's premier diamond dealer. They have a high value of installation. And then here's one of his competitors that he once told me he was concerned about. Let's go down the page. And so the other thing I want to point out here, this AI overview is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Instead of just being a little spot at the top, it sometimes is just encroaching and taking up so much space. So key considerations, well, mountain heating, okay? Mitsubishi. And so all of this is about my client. Now, if we go down into the organic, I want you to take a look at, well, how did we score all three of those AI overviews? Well, there's his website, okay? There's a carousel of videos. So let me point this out. Not every video is going to rank on the first page of search. There are like tens of millions of videos uploaded to YouTube every single day. But our channel, the Ductless Directory, we've been working on it since 2016. So there came a time in my company that I was less interested in building websites, and I leave that to people like Josh and Relentless Digital and other people. And I was more interested in building assets off the website. So we invested in a YouTube channel. We invested in a directory. We invested in featured articles and blog posts and case studies and all kinds of things. But you're going to see here that Google loves these videos. And what's really important to note is that the videos outrank the map. So there's my client on the map. So get found off your website, get citations, helps boost your map listing. And then if we scroll down the page, there's mountain heating. There's my press release that got picked up by Yahoo Finance. There's a competitor. There's Reddit. There's mountain heating in my Facebook page. There's his press release. And this is one of the contractors that when we first started doing business, Corey came to me and he pointed out two contractors to me. And Corey, I'm going to bring you on here in just one quick second. And he said to me, Michelle, I don't get it. They're at the top of the search and they're not any better than me. They don't have better technicians. They don't have better experience. They don't have better training. They don't have better integrity. We are better than them in every way possible. And yet I'm at the bottom of the search result and they're at the top. And I said, well, let's get to work. I can fix that for you. So what I want to do is contrast the old with the new way. And then I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to show you a couple things. And then Corey, Glenn, if you can make it so that Corey can come on, and then I want people to hear from him. But, oh, okay, so this is another search term. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. This is another case, different search term. The first one was mini split installation in Bozeman, Montana. This one is a ductless heat pump contractor in Bozeman. Heat pumps are a big thing in Montana. All right, here's another instant where Google found the ductless directory and put it in the AI overview, found his website. Oh, the press room on his website that we created, and then his website. And so once again, there's one contractor that really, really takes up a huge amount of space. And so I'm just going to blow through this really quickly. This is where it starts. It starts with the ductless directory. I created a directory because I knew long ago that Google needed to find contractors off their website. I had a digital marketing team with programmers and developers, and I said, let's go build something other than websites. What should we do? We did a directory. I advocate and promote the qualified ductless contractor. This entire website, it's not a repository for a name, address, and phone number. Rather, it's a website directed towards the consumer. And it's telling the consumer, hire the right contractor. You guys get treated like a commodity every day of the week. People go get their 3, 4, 5 competitive quotes. And when you come into my world, I start giving you assets, like getting listed in the ductless directory. And then we also do featured articles. Corey happens to be a ductless all-star, so that when he gets in front of a customer that's treating you guys like a commodity, he's like, we're not your average contractor. We're actually recognized as a ductless all-star. Oh, and by the way, we've been picked up by Yahoo Finance for these case studies that we do. High elevation, ductless and high elevation. Corey told me about that, and I go, it's a case study. Because contractors, you have trophy projects, and they've got to be you've got to highlight them. You've got to differentiate yourself. And then I'm going to show you really quickly. Let me first show you. Oh, this is one of my channels where we do the short form videos. And then I want to show you the mega channel. And it's the ductless directory. And this is why my videos will show up on the first page of search. It's because of the authority that we have in this channel. And Glenn, if you can put that link in the chat, please just go ahead and like and subscribe the channel. But this is why. This is what we've been doing. And so when we work with a contractor, we're giving you multiple assets. They all point back at the website. They elevate the website. We're giving you content that you can start sharing with your prospects to become customers that differentiate you from everybody else in your market. All right, can we bring Corey on, Glenn? Corey Johnson?
Yeah, hello.
Hey. Okay, I got to stop sharing my screen. Corey, I want to thank you. It's hot in Bozeman. I know you're a busy guy. I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. And so Corey is someone, when I say I don't work with every contractor, we do cherry pick the contractors that we work with, FYI. I've known Corey since way back in the days when I was working quite closely with Daikin. He's now a Mitsubishi contractor, but I also think he's one of the best. And so he's one of just 12 contractors across the nation that I consider to be a ductless all-star. He's doing incredible projects. So Corey, can you speak a little bit about the diversity of the marketing that we've done for you, and what have you noticed?
Over the last year, and I'll step back a little bit, but I'm a huge skeptic when it comes to just marketing in general. We've tried so many things that just you're throwing away money, right? And you never really see a benefit from it. And so in this case, it was sort of incredible. We had a website that I would say it was a little bit flagging, like what, 5, 6 years where we had gone with the local provider for web services, and we were starting to get like down into the ranks of like the normal companies in town, and it was just annoying. And then once we did the I guess it was probably what, 3, 4 weeks. So we were changing some website stuff. We started to pop up in different ranking orders. And then all of a sudden one of those videos goes out and it was almost immediate. We owned the video platform for Bozeman. In fact, Bozeman didn't have any videos that were showing up when you did a Google search. And then all of a sudden we owned that. And I'll fast forward now to, what is it, 9 months later?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, after a little bit of a slow spring, we started closing one after another of Mitsubishi projects, to the point where right now it serves as about 90% of our workload. And it's just been an incredible thing. And we're back to that point. Years ago, when I was working with Michelle, she had figured out how to game the system. And we kind of had that platform where I was like, you're the guys in town that we should work with. The web told me so, you know. We're back to that. And it's sort of satisfying because we're also one of those, you know, white glove companies that tries to do extra training about people, you know, personalities. You know, we just want to do the white glove service in the home and give it exceptional experiences. This is helping so much because I'm assuming most of you are around this type of environment, but once you get those customers, they're also lower maintenance and it's a lot more fun. A lot less stressful. So thank you.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, when you're in front of the customer, are you able to differentiate yourself with this diversity of content? It's not just a website that you're relying on, it's the press release and the case studies and the all-star. Like, has that helped you close more business?
Yeah, it's really hard to describe the diversity, but it's a lot more like if you own a neighborhood and somebody new moves in and all of their neighbors go, "Oh yeah, we use mountain heating and cooling." It's sort of like that where people are calling us up going, "I hear you're the high altitude duct guy. What do you do that makes you?" They're actually asking you the questions and prompting you for basically your sales pitch. So it makes it so much easier. And then you can focus on relationships rather than a sales pitch.
Yeah, so good. So good. Well, on that note, we're going to keep moving forward. Corey, I know you're so busy today. It would be great if you could stay, understand if you need to leave, but that's the difference between relying on a website and really diversifying your content.
Thanks again.
Oh, thank you so much. Great appreciation for you, Mr. Johnson. All right. So next, let's say you have taken over. Now you understand the AI search and you're getting more leads and you're standing out and people are calling. What do you do? And so I have got to introduce AJ from Broccoli, and his contractor buddy is Marcel Flowers. I met them at the Epic conference, and they had the red Batman phone sitting out there, and I was so skeptical. And AJ, you were just prompting me, go ahead, pick it up. And I go, what's it going to do? And you're like, pick it up. And I go, what's it going to say? Is it going to be like some computer? And so I picked up the phone and I tried ordering a pizza. Okay. And that dang thing wouldn't let me order the pizza. And in the nicest of ways, they said, pizza is such a great idea, but that's not what we do here. Would you like to schedule your appointment? And I go, but I don't like anchovies. Well, we don't either. So, and it just kept putting me back on task. And so I was so impressed. And so when I was thinking about this lineup and about AI, I had to bring AJ in and I had to bring Marcel in because there really wouldn't be AJ without Marcel. Can we start by telling the story about how you knocked on 140 doors? Let's start there.
Yeah, so we're going to flip the order, and Marcel is going to go first. So she's not just a buddy, but she was also Broccoli's second customer and an
Yes.
advisor at Broccoli. So
Let's do
I'm
it.
going to, yeah, give it over to Marcel.
Good, good, good. Well, I'd love to tell the story, and I'm always a little scripted on things like this because I've told the story so much. So if you hear me kind of droning on, it's just because this is something I've got to share many, many times. But I'm so glad to be with you all. And Michelle, thank you for inviting us on. And I know you're the Duchess of Ductless, right? So I thought, as a plumbing contractor, I could be the queen of clogs or something like that.
Do
So
it.
I want to be in the royal family too, right? So, but anyway, for those that don't know me, I am Marcel Flowers and I'm the CEO of Armstrong Plumbing. Guys, I'm in my 6th decade of life on this planet, and 30 of those decades have been right here in the contracting world in plumbing. My dad was a great contractor. He was a commercial plumber. And alongside my brothers and myself, we kind of helped dad run the business. And then dad stepped out and left me a little pile of debt. And in 2011, I went, let's see what we can do with the service and repair world. And so I picked up the reins there and dug ourselves out of some debt and scaled to 7 million quite organically in 7 years. And with very little, I'll say, advertising budget, 2.5% is all I needed to spend. But I think what enabled me to do that was the fact that we established a mission statement, and that mission statement was to care for people in a way that improves their quality of life. And I was just determined that everyone on my team absolutely lived by that. Our core values and our mission statement were pertinent to who we were. And so I say all that because it leads me to the broccoli story. I hate broken things. And don't hear me say broken people, because I love broken people. I'm passionate about broken people, which is why I'm in this business. We've got to put people back on their feet and give boys second chances and give them a job and a skill that they've never had before.
Amen.
But I hate broken things, just hate them. So I was an early adopter of Service Titan. I was on right in the beginning because I thought I'm done with this broken system of trying to dispatch. And so I grabbed Service Titan and went live with that early on. And then fast forward 10 years later, I had an answering service that was just, I wanted to pull my hair out, right? So I know you guys can relate with this, but I was losing calls on the weekend. I was losing calls at night. You come in the morning and your dispatchers say, we've got a great call that came in, and you're listening to it. And it wasn't a great call. It was horrible, right? They didn't follow my script and yada, yada. So, have you guys heard the old story about when at the family dinner table, when everybody or mom brought the steak or the roast to the table, right? I remember that story where the ends of the roast were cut off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody.
It might be a female thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So mom keeps bringing the roast to the Sunday dinner table with the ends cut off, right? And finally someone asks, why do you keep cutting the ends of the roast off? And she said, well, it's because Aunt Martha always taught me how to do it that way. So then they asked Aunt Martha, like, why did you cut the ends of the roast off? Martha said, well, it wouldn't fit in the pan, right? So to me, that story drives me crazy. I hate that story. I always want to say, get on Amazon and buy a freaking new pan, right? Just buy a new pan. So my dad was a roast cutter. He just kept doing the same things the same way over and over and over. And I am not a roast end cutter, right? I see something that's broken and we need to get it fixed. So let me tell you the quick story about AJ and Audie. If you've heard their story online, you're going to hear them say that we went over 140 contractors knocking on doors. Guys, this is in the Silicon Valley. This is in the progressive area of San Francisco, and 140 contractors closed their door, wouldn't even open their door to these two guys, right? And all I can think about is they're still cutting the ends off the frickin' roast, right? AJ and Audie had a gold pan, and nobody picked up the new gold pan. Nobody. They came to with the exception of one, Darren Devine, shout out to you, buddy. But then they end up in Sacramento at my office, and they walked in with a golden pan, and I went, you know what? Our answering service is broken. Help me fix it. So Broccoli was cultivated and grown in my office by two guys that would not give up. They were tenacious. They kept pushing forward. They kept solving problems. They're still doing that today. They're innovating. They've changed the way I do life in my business. I've got my weekends back. I've got my after hours. I'm secure with knowing that my phones are handled beautifully every single time. They follow my scripts. No one's on hold. My customers are learning to love it, right? As we all adapt to this new world of AI. And so that's my story. And what I'd like to say is, I don't know why you guys all came on the call today. Maybe it's because you just realized there's so many good looking people on this call or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason you're here, if you're still cutting your ends off the roast, give them to me. I love them. They're my favorite part of the roast, right? But if you want a new pan, take a look at AI, add a little broccoli to that roast and take a bite. It's good for you.
That's so good. That's so good. AJ, Marcel, thank you so much. I love that you, you had an open mind and you let these guys in. And then can you just say, did you not share some information about how much it saved your company, like the efficiency that went up and how much it saved?
Yes. So yeah, very, very quick weekend story. So we were down to maybe a couple calls on a weekend. That's all we would do. I'd have one tech on call. And, but this was going on for, a year, 2 years, right? We just never got calls on the weekend. The first weekend Broccoli went live we booked 9 calls on a Saturday and 8 on a Sunday, just like that. Okay. And I went, they had to have been there all the time. our answering service was just so inefficient at booking them that we were losing them. So that's the first week, and it's never stopped since. We always are crazy on the weekends and overnight. It just never slowed down after that.
Because it's there 24/7.
Yeah.
It doesn't get tired.
Nope.
It doesn't have a bad mood.
Oh, doesn't call in sick.
Doesn't call in sick.
Give me an excuse as to why they can't come to work, right?
That's so good. AJ, so we are on a bit of a tight schedule here today. Were you going to share your screen and show anything, or
I'm
can
going to
you,
skip my introduction, everything. I'm just going to dive deep into the
Yes.
product demo, which is easier for me. So Marcy took the
You did a great
initiative
job.
to introduce this and everything. So yeah, like just to reiterate what Marcel shared was like all of us have dealt with this problem in this industry, which is answering services. And it's not their fault. It's hard for one person to manage calls for 50 companies. They don't know what your business guidelines are, how you manage your after hours emergencies. So like, how do you solve this problem? And for us, that was the question when Marcel told us that I pay $5,000 to an answering service and their booking rate was around 30%. So with AI, and right now there's just so much noise around AI that even if you Google search AI CSR, you're going to get like 20 companies bombard you. Broccoli is a little bit different. We build the product from a plumber's office for the first 3 months. We truly understand what the customer goes through. They're calling you because there's something wrong in their home. Either it's a clogged toilet, the water heater is not working. So whatever that AI is or a CSR or an answering service is, they need to offer empathy. They need to offer reassurance in order to get that job scheduled. And Broccoli does that. So Broccoli basically gives you a 24/7 AI voice agent that can talk to your customers. It offers empathy, follows your script, integrates with Service Titan and other CRMs like HouseCall Pro. So unlike answering services, which are more like a glorified pager where they're just going to send you an email, Broccoli can automatically book a service straight on your dispatch board and also dispatch a technician. So we do everything that a great CSR would have done in that case. But let's address the elephant in the room. How does the AI sound? Like the thing that blew Michelle's mind in Epic. I'd like to do the same thing. So I'll also invite you to just like come in and check out our AI on your own. After the call, you can go to our website and do a test call on your own. You can talk to one of our AI agents, but I'm just going to play a quick recording here so that you can just like get a sense, get a feel of how Broccoli's AI sounds.
It's a great day at Home Energy Heating and Cooling. This is Hudson. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Oh, Hudson, this is Steve Wood.
Hi, Steve. How can we help you today?
Our air conditioning system put in 2017 gave up on Sunday afternoon.
That sounds frustrating. We can absolutely help you get that taken care of. Just to confirm, is your AC completely not cooling, or is it running but not cooling as well as it should?
Fan is running and the compressor only stays on about 30 seconds.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll get this sorted for you. How soon were you hoping to get this taken care of?
Well, I'd like air conditioning when the heat comes back.
Absolutely, Steve. Let me take a look at our next available appointments so we can get your AC checked out. One moment, please.
When it said 1 moment, please, actually went into Service Titan, saw what's on your board, and then came back and offered availability. So it'll never overbook you. It'll not randomly give the next slot. You'll understand what the customer's issue was, what your prioritization logic was, and then offer availability.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then it'll go on and like get all the details. If it's an existing customer, it knows what the address is on file. Won't ask for that. We'll just confirm that. So all of that is already there. How much time do we have, Michelle? Like how many minutes?
Well, like a minute, maybe. We're a little over.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to conclude then. And like Broccoli is much more than what I just showed. Now we've expanded. We can do outbound calls, follow up on open estimates, happy calls, schedule recurring services. We have SMS agents. We also have quality assurance for your call center where we can reclassify every single call that your CSRs or anybody else in the office takes to booked, unbooked, or excused, and write the proper call disposition as well. So in a nutshell, Broccoli is basically your all-in-one AI lead management solution across inbound, outbound, chat, SMS, any channel you like, lead aggregators as well, like Yelp, Angie. Uh, we'd love to show you a detailed demo, give you a detailed overview of the Broccoli platform and what we can do for you. If you're interested, feel free to go to broccoli.com, or else I'm just going to paste the link here so
Yeah,
that
AJ, Glenn already did that for you. So the link for the listeners today, yep, it's right there in the chat. Go take AJ up on that, do that demo. And then if they want to schedule an appointment with you, AJ, what would they do?
yeah, I'm just going to like share that link here
Okay.
to all, or maybe I'm just going to send it to Glenn because I'm not able to send it to everyone. So I've sent it to Glenn with an Masters of HVAC Marketing code. So there's no onboarding fee for anyone that signs up from this webinar.
So good. So good. Thank you, Trent Lowenstein, for being in the house today. And thank you for the comment. It is amazing content. And I love, Marcel, what you said. It's just like, you don't even know, like, what problem is that when you don't even know what you're losing over the weekend? You didn't know until, right? Until you have an AI agent that's going, oh yeah, all these things fell through the cracks, or somebody wanted to get in touch with you and you're after hours. And so they bailed and they went someplace else. So good.
Yeah, the transparency is great. The visibility is great. I've never ever had that in my business before, and it's really truly amazing. It's been changing for us everything.
So good, so good. All right, thank you both of you so much for your stories. All right, we're going to move on next to the technicians. What about, do the technicians, Logan, sometimes get forgotten about? Like, we're so concerned with getting leads and converting the leads and making the sale. And then we have those technicians out there that are working so hard in the heat, solving problems. And I love when I was looking at speakers, I got to have Logan to the table, because what would happen if your techs could just be more efficient than they've ever been before? Could they actually improve the bottom line? Could they actually increase revenue?
Yes.
The unofficial. All right, we got the queen of broccoli, the Duchess of Ductless, and now I got to introduce the unofficial mayor of HVAC. So, Logan, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, thanks, Michelle, for hosting this. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the technicians do tend to get forgotten about sometimes. I mean, I think we've had some great technology and some good advancements over the past years to be able to enhance their ability, whether it be communicating in the field or, being able to make them more effective, but there's still more to be done, right? So the industry at large, I mean, if we look at it holistically, your service technicians are about 38% billability efficient. That's about the standard. That's about the average across the industry. That can be a big problem. There's a lot more to gain from not only picking up all these leads, but also knowing that they're technically sound and confident to be able to maximize those leads. So inside the Bluon mobile app, there's a lot of data and information that's there in real time to be able to help them, whether it be from scanning model data plates to capturing that data. We have a lot of integrations going on that are active at this time to where they're going to be able to actually transfer that data like into Service Titan and be able to capture model age range of the equipment, model number, serial number, likelihood of warranty. Obviously, those kind of things can be tagged and produce great outcomes for the business with age of life equipment. But how does that impact the technician out in the field? It speeds up their time. All right. There's a lot of things that technicians are faced with day to day on service calls that are outside of their own making that make them less efficient. That could be waiting on information. It could be waiting on answers as far as tech support or getting help when they get stuck. It could be getting the right parts and the right materials to the job when they need it. So that's kind of where we step in. we're stepping in to be able to help them throughout those inefficient processes so they can begin to be more effective. So once they actually get into a data side of our mobile app, um, that's where we're a completely brand agnostic resource. So all brands, makes, models, all in one mobile app, to go through manuals, wiring diagrams, tech specs, anything that's known on that piece of equipment, and then also being able to get our AI tech support. So our tech support tool kind of has two different facets to it now. Not only is it a technical resource built from over 150,000 plus live tech support calls that we answered across the industry at large, but now that's layered in as the backbone and knowledge to Master Mechanic, and it's an infinite library of HVAC knowledge that's growing to be able to help them in real time. How does that help the technician in the field? Not only just helping them with the technical information and solutions in real time without having to take your other team members offline throughout that process, which we have all come to know that, when they get stuck in the field, the most average technician reaches out to up to five other internal team members before they go to an external resource. That is a huge billable negative for your
Yes.
business.
Okay, that's a
So
great piece of intel right there. Who knew?
yeah, for sure. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when they're going into that kind of billable negative, your other team members are tasked to be able to be on their own billable task. When they get that text message, when they get that phone call, that takes them off track. The human mind loses anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes anytime they're taken off task. That is a compounding effect across your business from the field. So inside there, the technicians can get the information to the resource by asking the AI. The AI is built, it knows exactly what model number they're working on, because they go to that model inside the mobile app, and it's able to expand the knowledge base on whatever issues have been known from that model or whatever issue they're having a problem with while they're out in the field. Most technicians are speaking into our AI Master Mechanic right now. They just simply hit that voice to text button, go completely hands free, still being able to use their meters, use their gauges. And what we have found is that as they speak about things, they're able to describe in more detail than we would if we were just simply inputting a text message into a chat. Because as human nature, what we normally like to do with texting is we like to use the path of least resistance, which means the minimum amount of words and the most impact is what they're wanting to gain. It just doesn't work that way. We've all heard the terminology garbage in is garbage out, right? So it's kind of the same way. But when they open up and they speak about what they're experiencing, that's where Master Mechanic really takes shape and understands, hey, there's different nuances to this call that I need to expand and talk about. And that's how it's able to help them in real time. We've been able to free up service managers or leadership if you have field staff that are answering those calls by anywhere from 70 to 80% as the average that we're normally seeing across the board. So if your service managers are fielding over 10 service calls a day from their technicians calling to get them to help them, then eight of them can go to the way of Master Mechanic, and the other two are probably going to be the most nuanced. Maybe you even have to have a set of eyes on that job at that point to be able to produce an outcome that you expect, to be able to free their time up massively so they can focus on the KPIs you set in place for them and help them in real time. I have Joe here with us. He's got a lot of knowledge on AI and everything as well, and he's done a lot of advising and helping us here on the backside too. But he also likes to share a lot of information, and he can feel free to chime in there if he would like.
This is your contractor buddy?
Yes, it is.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We love that you guys showed up amidst this crazy busy time of the year. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I'm actually retired right now, so I'm able to jump on. But before I retired, I was using Bluon in my business. I'm actually a board member of Bluon also. So,
Oh, got muted there.
Oh yeah, unmute yourself, Joe, like in the lower left. Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had. Okay. What I was saying is, uh, I'm retired now, but I did use Bluon at my company before I left. I am a board member of Bluon, so Logan, stop me if I start saying anything I shouldn't, because I don't know what I can and can't say. We have so much in the pipeline. Yeah, we efficiency. We picked up probably 1 to 2 billable hours per truck once we switched over to Bluon. Um, we were able to restructure. We had 25 or 28 service technicians. We were able to restructure the management layer because of that. We no longer needed as much technical knowledge at the top. If I was a smaller company starting out today, I'd probably use it as my service manager. I wouldn't need $120,000 position anymore. I could hire a $60,000, $70,000 coordinator because, like Logan said, just keeping up with KPIs and things. Um, Now, Bluon for Business, we're looking at it, right now, or what Logan was talking about was the technical side of Bluon, but the parts procurement side, that alone can save in the summertime 3, 4, 5 man hours a day of somebody back at the office just figuring out where the parts are at the closest location. Josh Kelly and I were actually talking about this not too long ago. They were introducing it at Parker and Sons, and I can't remember the number that he threw out that he looked at saving just because of having that many technicians. I forget how many they have. I think it's like 100 technicians.
Yeah.
Just the parts procurement side is going to alleviate tons of overhead for them. So it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And how that kind of ties back in even to the AI side. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. I mean, it's even the parts database. So that's one thing I haven't really hit on, there. So inside of that library of knowledge, all the manuals, all the wiring diagrams for all those 20 million plus model numbers that we have inside the mobile application now, all of the parts lists for those pieces of equipment are in there as well. And we've also built the largest cross-reference tool in all of HVAC. So not only do they have more shots on goal to be able to get that customer taken care of today, but those are also resources that are soon to be integrated directly into our AI as well. So if technicians working on XYZ piece of equipment, they're needing help, they get the technical help. It can resource the parts directly from the OEM parts list and be able to give alternate options to them, whether they match it directly from the universal parts they carry on their trucks to be able to reduce windshield time, or being able to streamline procuring those parts on the other side. So lots of things to come to be able to help enhance the efficiency and the effectiveness of technicians out in the field. One of the other newest updates to Master Mechanic, we got a lot of feedback from technicians all over the country, and we help anywhere from a one-man shop to, some mega companies that have thousands of technicians. So inside their job summaries, it's all been a pain and a heartache for a lot of technicians. We all know they're out there, they're doing the hard work, they're hot, they're sweaty. After it's time to do, a job summary for a customer, then a lot of times it's kind of cavemanish. It can be bad fan motor needs replaced. That's your job summary. So inside there, Master Mechanic will take a list from whatever you spoke into it or the technical summary of what you had to troubleshoot with Master Mechanic and actually produce that into not only a technical job summary for internal use, but also a customer facing job summary. So it cleans up the grammar, cleans up the
So
punctuation, makes it
good.
relevant,
So
and
good.
really streamlines the process for the technicians.
Thank you, Logan. I liked the shots on goal. I'm a hockey fan, so I would shots on goal. That's so good.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think a couple takeaways that I heard from you before we move on is the time, like when somebody gets interrupted, like if the tech has got to go out and reaching out to 5 people, and the ripple effect of taking somebody's attention off what they're doing to put the attention on what you're trying to solve. That is my big takeaway. And what a great problem to solve. So thank you, Joe, for coming. And thank you, Logan, for sharing that. I learned a lot about your company today. So good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And then, Glenn, can we put in the chat, Logan, how they get in touch with you if you want to talk more about Logan and Bluon and how they can help? There should be something in the chat that you can grab, whether is it a calendar appointment or a demo?
I'll throw it in there for you guys.
Yep. Get that in there so people know how to be in touch with Logan. All right. So next, as we move through getting more of the leads and getting the phone answered and getting your text dialed in, I'm having a hard time calling you Don. I just want to call you Brandon.
Yeah, we're running with it for now. I made an announcement on LinkedIn about it. We gotta run with it.
I know, Don. Okay, Don, whatever. But I met you at the Epic conference, which was another big win for me. And what I was so impressed with, I think about, again, for contractors, we're spending so much time getting leads, closing sales. And then what I really loved about seeing your demo was like, well, what do we do? You wrap up a call and what are you doing? Hey, do you know anybody else that might need our services? Or, it's kind of lame, right? And then you're on to the next thing. And then all of a sudden your best referral source is just hanging, and you incentivize them and you reward the new person, and there's no app to download. So I was so excited, and I go, well, this has got to be part of the AI suite of tools. And is Nathan in the house?
I believe Nathan is in the house. I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Nathan, I'm so glad that you're here. I love the contractor perspective. So it's so good. Well, yep, there you go. There's Nathan. All right. So do you want to, well, we did the demo, right? On a Zoom.
Yeah, I can take it away and explain a little bit about my background, introduce Nathan here. Nathan's looking a little bit more professional than me with the microphone. I think he should run the podcast himself. But yes, for those of you who don't know, I'm Don. The reason I have to go by Don is because my co-founder, his name is Brendan. My original name is Brandon. So one of us had to choose, is he going to be Dan or I'm going to be Don, to make it less confusing for clients, partners, and even customers as well. But Nathan's actually our first customer here at Volca. We've been live for a little bit under a year. And at a high level, what we do is we automate and streamline customer, but also B2B referral processes for home service businesses. So we saw a huge gap in the way referrals were done. And I think, Michelle, you mentioned it, just like AI search is changing, we want to be the catalyst to change the referral process and how people actually think about it. In a world of convenience, just like I click a button to order food like DoorDash or Uber Eats on my phone and food comes to my door, your customers, they want the same sort of treatment when it comes to making a referral or an introduction to a friend, a neighbor, maybe a family member that might need your services. They don't want to have to go online, look up your refer a friend form, open up the computer, fill out a form. And then once that referral actually gets in a clunky way, maybe your CSRs, they'll plug it into service setting. The old method would be cutting a check or sending out a gift card to that customer of like $250 for sending that referral in. We want to be the new tool to really shake up the way that this happens and drive revenue. We are just really key on driving revenue and ROI. And I think, Nathan, if you could talk a little bit about your experience, and I can get into more exactly how it works, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. So first off, I just want to say these guys are phenomenal. The whole team at Volca, they are legit, right? They are the real deal. So it was a pleasure, and it's been a real honor being able to meet these guys and work with them. And as we've come along, I think we all know that all of life and all of business is about relationships. And there's several ways to get new clients. The best way is through referrals. And I also am a small business coach with Phenomenal Business Coaching, powered by Zig Ziglar, own a franchise under Howard Partridge. And we have an awesome referral rewards program. So we had a program in place here at Schaefer Heating and Cooling that we utilized. However, we had never fully implemented it because we were missing the one piece of being able to track it and pay it. And so when I met these guys and they said what they're doing, like, man, that's perfect. That's the one missing piece. We have the postcards. We're trying to send out a check. It's impossible. Then integrity is one of our core values, and we miss one. It's like, oh man, that looks like we, intentionally missed paying out rewards to referral. So This has been awesome. And just in the last, 4 months or so of being live and fully implementing it within the team and utilizing it, which is still getting, buy-in from everybody and creating that habit, it's generated an additional 160,000 in sales. We've got 1,074 advocates that people have signed up and said, yeah, we'll take this and we'll refer you guys. And it's generated another 38 referrals.
Say that again. How did you track 160,000? That's amazing.
Yeah, just in the last few months. And like I said, that's with 20%, right? Consistently using it every day. And that's mostly on our customer side. So our technicians talking to the customers in the home. That's where all that has came from. We've actually got a guy now going out on our B2B side and using the exact same platform, the exact same process. So we're using our referral rewards program from Phenomenal Business Coaching. We're using the Volca platform that allows us to easily track it, easily pay it out. The technicians get notifications, a little email that says, hey, awesome job. So-and-so, Mary just got your referral, and she referred so-and-so. So it's instant gratification for them. When the job's done, it integrates in the Service Titan, lets us know. We know to pay it out. We go in once a week, click pay, and we're all set, right? And the customer gets a notification. So there's just so many awesome things. I'm sure Brandon will jump into probably more on how it works, but it's so simple, and nobody gets slipped through the cracks now. Whereas before, people were constantly getting missed, and it's just too many to track.
I have a question because I know this would be me. So let's say it's me, and you're going to pay me to refer you. I'm going to okay. Well, I know myself. All of a sudden, I think I'm going to be like, "How is there a limit? How many referrals can I make?"
Yeah. So for us, it's limitless in the amount of referrals you can make. And for us, we pay up to 10% of the purchase price of the client's first purchase. So yesterday we just finished up another $27,000 job that came from a referral. So it just notified our system. The client got notified. I need to just log in right now and just click one click of pay, and it'll automatically pay them $1,000. So we pay 10% up to 1,000 is what we do.
Come on, that needs to go in your marketing, right? Like, hire us and we'll pay you.
Yeah, Michelle, I can touch on like how we really rethought the psychology of referral, and we want to bring it to be one of your top lead generation sources. I think for years, Google and AI and search, they've been around, LSA, PPC, SEO, but people have completely relied on that as their main source of marketing. And I think they've forgotten that your best customer is the friend and family of your current customers. It's the most low-hanging fruit out there. So Volca is not only we want to process it, track it, make it easy to pay, but we also want to help market. So I think we really do a great job at incentivizing every piece of the puzzle. I think for years, people have thought of referral programs as business and customer and have forgot about the technician. That's where we come in, and we also incentivize technicians and have data and tracking to know which technicians are out there promoting the referral program the best way. I think just as people are focused on asking for a 5-star review, we want technicians to also mention the referral program and not just play on the potential $1,000 reward, but also play on the empathy of, hey, I'm a great technician who did a great job in your home today. If it would mean the world to me personally if you refer me out to your neighbors, because that not only brings a reward to you, you help grow my business, but you're also helping put money in my pocket where then Nathan can go ahead and give a bonus to his guys for setting up a TGL. So we're kind of expanding the term referral here and really just trying to drive revenue and make everyone an extension of your sales team. And I think Corey mentioned it earlier on. He was like, focus on relationships and not just a sales pitch. We genuinely believe in that. We're trying to make this a very personalized customer interaction where they're not upselling anything. It's more of a favor you're introducing to the customer. Be like, hey, you might already have referred me to your neighbors or you were planning to. I want to make sure that you get credit for it. And building that one-to-one relationship with the tech and the customer. It's like almost the tech's personal referral line. And I can get into exactly how it would work. If that would be helpful, you think, Michelle?
Well, it's kind of reminding me a little bit, when Tommy Mello talks about incentivizing the employees, right? Like you get paid on performance. Like if you're going to perform, you're going to I'm just going to take care of you, right? It's in that camp for me, and it's blowing my mind a little bit about like this inefficiency that exists while we're helping contractors chase the lead, and it's just like it's right under your nose. It's just so brilliant. I love it.
I appreciate for you referencing. Yeah, it is under people's nose. And I always say for years, like there's so many AI companies coming out that are going to automate certain processes and help out. But before the internet, before Google was around, the only way a trades business grew was word of mouth, and it was referrals. And I think people have just completely forgotten that this is a clear source of revenue. And I think the opportunity cost nowadays of focusing on a poor quality lead compared to a high quality referral, it is extremely high. So we want to really focus on these referrals that are going to close at a 85, 90% clip instead of leads that maybe come from an Angie's or something like that, where 20 contractors are calling the same person.
100%. And these are the things that you can't measure. Like, I like what Marcel said. Like, how would you know how much business you're losing over the weekend? Like, how would you possibly know until she put Broccoli in? And you're like, holy crap, people want to do business with us over the weekend. And this is in that same camp. Like, how would a contractor know? Like, how much business are you losing? You don't, because you're not driving referrals from your warmest, happiest customer. How would you know how to even measure it unless you have someone like Nathan? And then it's measurable. Like, I just think it's brilliant.
And as much as we talk about it on the customer side, where you want to incentivize technicians and kind of get this out to your customer base, Nathan's actually hired an entire new role, like a B2B field marketing manager, to go around local businesses. Nathan, if you could talk on that a bit, I just think it's so amazing. It's a really cool thing for in my life that we've inspired change within an organization. And we're really excited. I think Nathan and I both agree this is only the start of Volca. I think our goal together is to get $1 million in referral revenue across the line within a year at some point. And I think with the angle of B2B and also customers, we're going to get there.
Yes, that's actually part of our part. We really push a lot because you have each client, right? And there can be a referral source for you. But imagine if we have an A list, a B list, a C list, if you will, in other businesses. So for us in heating and cooling, examples of an A list might be realtors, pest control companies, plumbers, et cetera. So other people that are in the home service, that might be on the A list, others might be on a B list. But imagine if they're referring all their clients to you. And so I actually have what we call my relationship building coordinator. He drives all over. He's visiting right now about 200 companies a month. And just driving from place to place to place and revisits them every month. And I'm happy. I'll put some links in there too. You guys can reach out, and I'm happy to share more about this program, how it works, and our process, I should say. But what he does is that just builds his relationships, and we add value to those companies. So whether it's coming in and doing something for their team, a training this morning, I was doing a dish training, for a local company, or just a 1-hour training, just different ways that we can help them grow their business. And as a token of our appreciation for them sending their clients to us. Obviously, we're also it applies the same 10% up to $1,000 that we pay out for that as well, that they can utilize towards their services or cash. But his whole focus is just going out from business to business and working on building his relationships and getting his referrals, being involved in B&I groups and chamber events and door to door to the businesses. Our goal for him is within the first 12 months is to generate $1 million of referrals. By end of year next year, we should have 2 people in that role and be doing at least 2 to 3 million in referrals. And it's a proven.
Will you keep me posted on this? I'm absolutely
100%.
enthralled with it. I'm absolutely enthralled with it. I want to just tag in, and like, I didn't even know this was going to be something that might occur to me. But, when we take a look at just the era that we're in with the AI and SEO and just all of it, I've always told my clients, it's like, you have to do some outflow. You have to know how to go hunt and fish for business. And many contractors or their sales teams have just gotten so reliant on the leads coming in. But to go hunt and fish for business. So as it relates to me, I give my clients content, video content, case studies, press releases, right? You go hunt, and we go to LinkedIn. And we go hunt and fish for a very targeted customer. And one of my clients, he said, Michelle, I now get a $40,000 to $45,000 multi-zone mini split system from one person. We have one person referring over and over. So that's where we go. But can you imagine if my guy now has a Volca product? So we go on hunt and fish, and we've got all this great content to go reel somebody in to do business with us. And by the way, if I serve you and you're happy with us, I also have this referral program. It's just like these things can work together in a really innovative way. Like, most contractors aren't doing this. So good.
Michelle, how much time do I have? I do want to make sure I explain the product really well and just give everyone a quick overview of like where
do it. Yes. Explain the product quickly.
Yeah, I'll go.
I'm so enthralled with this.
I'm just going to share my screen really quickly.
Thank you, Nathan.
I'm just briefly sharing our website. I'm not going to walk through a full demo. Usually full demos are like live and you can actually test out the referral hotline. But what we do is we build your business a white labeled referral hotline specific to your business. So a new phone number with an area code in your location. Given the example, the Schaefer referral hotline, we're going to distribute it in two different ways, a 1-2 punch. One being option A is distribute it via the technician, have technicians have customers scan a QR code at the end of a job and promote this referral program in a really non-salesy way, just as an option for the customer to have to then send in referrals. Once someone scans a QR code, or option 2 being we sync directly with ServiceTitan. So post-job, just like a review automation request, it would be a referral automation request, introducing the referral hotline and how it works, where you can explain the specs of your program and even personalize it up to the technician, like, hey, this is Don personally reaching out from Schaefer Heating and Cooling. When somebody wants to send a referral, all they simply do is send a text message, and our AI is going to go in there and be able to parse the message correctly, and take whatever information's in that text message and plug it directly in ServiceTitan, and then follow it along its journey within ServiceTitan. So as I'm showing here, move fast on referred leads. We want to get them right in ServiceTitan so the CSRs can then go outbound the referred leads. And then most importantly, we think optionality and fast payment is a huge factor nowadays. I talk on convenience, like my Uber Eats or DoorDash analogy, but also with things like TikTok, like attention spans are slow nowadays. And you want to pay people as fast as possible when these jobs actually close. So when these jobs do close in ServiceTitan, it will automate a notification on the Volca system that says, hey, it's now time to pay Don for referring Nathan. And we're going to automate a link out to the customer that gives them the option to collect that money in Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Amazon, Visa, and then also future credit towards future systems, where if Nathan can convince his customers to collect credit, that's going to increase customer LTV and keep repeat business coming back to you guys. But yeah, that's a quick overview of how it actually works. And I'm really excited to where we're going and where we're going to take this referral hotline and get a little bit smarter with some of the AI.
I'm really excited for you, for God's sake. And then Glenn, can you put, well, I don't think we got your information. Go ahead and put your information in the chat so people know how to be in touch with you. And I saw the demo with Don and I was like, boy, howdy, that's really, really good. And I could feel myself wanting to refer because I would get, there's some of us that are a little competitive. So it's worth the time to do the demo. And Nathan, you just brought everything to light. It's so helpful to hear a success story about the kind of numbers that you're driving because of this. So impressive. So impressive.
Thank you for popping on.
All right, Don, thank you. So good. All right. Last but not least, the dynamic solo, Josh Crouch. I invited Josh to the table because when I was looking at the speaker lineup, it's just like, we got to wrap this up, right? There's all these individual things that everybody's talking about. And I don't even know if I've ever told you this, Josh, so I'll tell you this live. I just really have a lot of respect for the things that I see you posting on social and for the structure and the systems that you put in place, not only for your clients, but for your business as well. And so when I saw your group, I was like, I need a coach. I need to be in your group. So I thought that you and Tersch would be the perfect way to wrap this up, because I'm guessing people feel some overwhelm or don't know where to start or don't know which tool to go with. So the floor is yours. Talk a little bit about how you're helping people clear up those bottlenecks and what it is that you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Michelle. Love listening to the other speakers and the stuff that's going on. And my history with automation dates back to my contractor days. So I don't have a contractor buddy on here, so I will talk about my personal experience being in the HVAC world for 9 years. And I'll start with how that started, because I think that's a good tie along, because we have all these software tools, and Broccoli, we were right across them at Epic. They're great. I've talked with Don and the Volca team, and there's a lot of great products, but there are also a lot of our tech stack, as the trade moves on, continues to grow. And now we have certain tech that takes care of certain things, but then we have all these technologies that sometimes they don't all talk together. And so when we started our digital marketing company, Relentless Digital, we were focused on getting leads, just like most marketing companies do. But I realized that really the big thing that contractors need is the operational guidance, the data at their fingertips, because we would ask things like, what's your booking rate? And they give me a number 90%. I'm like, well, there's very few people in the industry at 90%. So there's just things that aren't accurate. And if we don't have accurate data, as you guys all know, especially Michelle, you being a marketer, bad data in means we're going to have bad data out, which means we're not going to make good decisions that are going to grow our business. So Tersch and after I started the marketing company, Tersch had also been using Zapier since like 2017, 2018, just like me. And we when he started his company, I was still in the trades. We bonded over that. That's how we had originally met digitally. And then I started asking him podcast questions in 2021 when I was getting off the ground with Relentless, and he wanted me to come co-host. So we've gotten even closer. And now since we have gone around to speak, do a lot of speaking and trying to help people understand how AI and automation can really bridge some awesome gaps in your company. Not some awesome gaps, some gaps in your company, because gaps are not awesome. But we've started a company called Trade Automation Pros, which helps people. We teach people how to build these things, which some people, it's just like anything in the world, right? Some people want to do it themselves. Some people want help and guidance and handholding. Some people want it done for them. Like, I know I need this. I need you to do it for me. Just tell me what you need, and just go do it. And the goal is to tie all of the technology together, so we're not taking data from one place and putting it into the next place, and then putting it into a third place, and then moving it to another place. And it streamlines everything. And so what I have, I'm going to share my screen. I have like a couple tabs open just to like walk through, because a lot of times when we ask people like, well, what would you like to automate? I get deer in the headlights. I have no idea. What can I automate? Tell me. And then the problem is, if I'm telling you what you can automate, I might not be solving a real problem for you. So if we're not solving a real problem, it's just a waste of your time. So I'll share my screen. I'll go over a couple things because I kind of want to show what's possible, and then also get some like free goodies and stuff like that for everybody. So this one, I hate doing zooms on my laptop because I usually have screens where I can move all these little zoom tabs to, but it's all on one screen, so I'm gonna have to move them a couple times. So first, and hopefully this stays pulled up. It should have been pulled up already, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what's possible. And of course, it's going to load right now, but I do have the data. I actually asked ChatGPT to help me kind of figure out how much time we've saved this last quarter. Now, some of this is client stuff, some of this is Relentless Digital stuff, but the number that was on the screen, this is from April 1st to June 26th, so Q2. Oh, there we go. It actually updated 183,250. So literally I had this up and this updated, and it added, we had 182,993. So 300 more tasks have been automated in the last 20 minutes since this has been up. But if every task that we do, let's say it's a web form submission comes to email, and we want to create a customer and service line. This is like a super, super, super simple thing. We just don't want to, we want to remove the data entry so our customer success team can just do what they do best and book the call, make the customer's experience amazing, follow up, make sure that they get that job booked. We've saved 19 standard 8-hour workdays in one quarter. Think about it, it's almost 4 weeks worth of work, and it's been automated. And so I'm going to go over just some ideas for people. I have them in my Slack here, so bear with me. Let me stop sharing because I have a different thread up, but I'll pull that up and just talk through it, because I think sometimes ideas are some of the best things for us to learn from, because something might be like, oh, I really need that thing. So some of these are ones that we do at Relentless. Some of these ones we do for clients. Some of these ones are ones that we've helped contractors build. So for instance, like today is Thursday at 1:00. So I have a leadership team of 5 people on Relentless Digital's team. And every Thursday I have a weekly check-in, because sometimes we're traveling for events. Sometimes I just want to take a vacation, but I still need to know what's going on with the company. I need to know really quick. So through Slack, we have automations where they have 4 questions. It's essentially, what'd you work on this week? What roadblocks did you hit? Do you need my help with anything? Just so I know, I can check it real quick and make sure that they continue their work. That automatically goes out every Thursday and alerts me, so that way I know what's going on with the company, no matter what. If I'm on vacation, I just want to take a day off as the leader, like whatever happens, like these things are really important. So that way your business continues to run and you stay connected, even though you're not physically there. I would say one of the biggest ones, and we help all of our clients with this, is speed to lead automation. And this can be anything from web form submissions, missed calls, abandoned calls, voicemails. We all know Service Titan classifies a lot of calls as abandoned. Angie's Lead, Home Advisor Lead, Thumbtack, Yelp even has an API now where, so anytime these leads come in, you can bring them into a central place. Now, some of you guys may have a platform like Chirp. We have our own, or you can go build your own on a platform like High Level. As long as you spend some time building that out, you can bring all these leads into a central hub and automate the follow-up either through pre-designed messages or through AI bots, because you can create your own AI bots for those sorts of things as well. Because a stat that really has stuck with me, and I've looked at several studies, is 78% of buyers buy from the first company that contacts them. And in the trades, and on this call, because you guys are all interested in technology and AI, you're probably at a much higher level than most of the trades. Like if you get into the distribution networks where these guys only rely on territory managers, the lack of education is stark. Like it is really bad for the rest of the trades. They don't even understand this stuff as a problem. But if you get nothing else out of this, being the first person to respond is literally one of the most crucial things you can do for your company. All right, I'm gonna go down because I know we're running out of time. I have a couple other things here without maybe explaining too much.
Josh, you're okay.
This one, okay. Sorry, I got a lot to say. So, one thing I will give as a freebie is Tersch actually created this. He created a custom GPT. If you're not familiar in ChatGPT, you can essentially give a ton of information, knowledge base, articles, things like that, and you can put it into essentially like I'll call it a brain inside of ChatGPT, and you can get consistent outputs. And what he did is he built a custom GPT to build SOPs for your business. So think about things like, what does a dispatcher do every day? That can easily be created, and it can be formatted where it is consistent for every single job type. So that way you literally can take this stuff, copy it, put it onto a doc, either print it and put it in a workbook or put it in a Google Drive or whatever system you have to create these things, because creating SOPs is painful. I don't know too many people that love creating those. I don't like creating them. I have some team members that do, but a lot of my team members use ChatGPT to help write those. So that way it's a consistent, just a consistent framework. So that way it doesn't have one that looks really good, one that's like, who wrote this one? This doesn't even look the same. And you can kind of create your own book for that. Auto email nurturing based on customer history, things like what job type they did, who was the technician that was out there, which CSR helped them last. So those types of things can be pulled from your CRM or FSM program, field service management software, and pulled into things like review requests or estimate follow-ups, where as soon as a job is closed and estimate is open, you can go follow up with those things with SMS, email, and ringless voicemail. But you can also pull information from the call, because the call may be recorded with, I know we didn't have like Rilla or someone on here, but some of these other platforms, you can have those conversations recorded and pull certain information into the message to make it really personalized without having to personally write those emails. A basic one that we talk about a lot. This is actually back when I was at professional services, I hated replying to reviews. Our team was awesome at getting reviews. I hated replying to them, especially like the 5 stars with no comments or the 4 stars with no comments. I'm like, what do I even say that's different every single time when you have dozens of these every single month? But now with being able to layer ChatGPT into AI review replies, you can not only get really, really great review replies that, again, save time, even if it's 2 minutes per review reply, but it can also help you create a social media post. And you can create a social media post for every single platform that is unique to that platform, and either automatically post that stuff, which is because of my comfort level, that's what I do, or you can have those things emailed to you, and that way your marketing coordinator, marketing assistant, marketing manager, or yourself, if that's you, can review it and be like, yes, post this one. No, I'd tweak this one a little bit, maybe give a little bit more story about that customer if you know something unique about that visit. But you can really create some awesome social media content very quickly, and it's very personalized to the experience. A couple others. I only have two more, and then I'll move on to just a couple more things here. Task management. Now, I know ServiceTitan has a task management piece. I don't like it at all. It's not annoying enough. And it's really hard to, it's really hard. And it's not to dig on them. It's just, that's not what they're, it should be a core feature. It's not really something they put a lot of focus and emphasis on, probably because they can't create a pro product out of it. But what we do and what a lot of contractors are starting to do is use tools like Trello, ClickUp, Asana, Monday.com. So like, let's say a new install gets sold, and you can do this with House Call Pro. You can do this with other platforms too. ServiceTitan is just the kind of the big 800-pound gorilla. So a job gets sold, and we, like when I was in the trades, we used to have job folders with manila envelopes. We'd print out and like put a little sticky checklist on there. But then that would have to get handed around to everybody. So if somebody wasn't in, we didn't know what the progress was. And then the communication was not in a central place. But now we can sell a job and automatically create a card or a task template. And all of those tasks can automatically be assigned to either the office staff or the field staff that need to get the work done. They can automatically get an alert, know what's coming, what they have to do, where to go do it. And you can even have the SOP or the process built inside of the task. And that allows them, like, if you need to replace a team member, that process is already in the task. You can hand it off to someone else. They just follow the process and they get the warranty paperwork done, the permit application done. They order the equipment, all of these different things that come along with these jobs. And then again, if you're the owner, the leader of the business, and you're out of town, you wake up in the morning, just check the status of these tasks. Is there any roadblocks? Is there anything you need to pay attention to? No, everything's good. Everyone's running. Go about your day and go enjoy your vacation. So I think it makes, some of this stuff makes leading and owning these businesses a lot easier. And that way we can enhance our communication instead of always having to pick up the phone and call someone. And then you got to go call the next person that it impacts and so on. It's a lot of extra communication that doesn't need to happen. And then the last thing that we do a lot of is automating things like maintenance reminders. Let's say it's hot right now, as Michelle alluded to. It's super hot. People are getting service today, but really we need to be reaching back out to them, especially if you're in HVAC. Now, if you're in plumbing and electrical, it may look a little different, like it may be like a once a year visit versus twice a year, but we can automate maintenance reminders based on the day they had service last. So we can do something where job is done today, they paid us, and now they automatically get pushed over into a marketing funnel where we are reaching out in a predetermined amount of time. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 3, maybe you just want to do filter reminders every month. You know, there's a lot of things you can do, but you don't have to manually upload that stuff, figure out how to write the email. You write it one time, set it in an automation or some sort of workflow, and it just goes out. It's constantly working. So you constantly have an army of, essentially like an army that's always selling and always trying to get appointments and always trying to book your calendar. So those are really like some of the more popular ones that I see on a regular basis. There's obviously a lot more you can do because it really depends on your tech stack. What tools do you have? What do you want to do? Like if something comes in platform A, what else do you want it to do? And that's really where the conversation starts. So what is Trade Automation Pros? Trade Automation Pros is a course and community. I think Glenn already added that. That's the school group. Facebook is very, very, very noisy and very distracting. So we got off of Facebook with our course and community so people can actually get out of that and really focus. But we teach you how, from the basics of like how to find automation ideas to how to explore to how to actually build them, how to create custom GPTs, how to use all this technology so that way you're actually using it and it's effective. And then we also have started doing automation on-sites. They're 2-day visits where either Tersch or myself or a combination of us will sit down at your business for 2 days. We'll meet with your team members, understand the tools they use, the processes they use, and we will help you come up with the automation ideas. And we even include like 20 hours of our developers' time in building those automations. And of course, you want to build more after that, or you want us to build them, we can bill you extra for that. But those are like the two options we have. So it's kind of like a DIY where you get access to Tersch and I and all of our experience, or we essentially do it for you. And then in October, we have our first event. It's called Tap into the Future. TAP is Trade Automation Pros acronym, where we're going to be talking about the sub headline is AI and Automation Unleashed, where we're going to have speakers who are really focused on this topic. And we're also going to be doing an implementation workshop on the second day. So that way, Tersch and I can actually get real problems that contractors are facing. We're going to build solutions live with everybody. So that way you guys can, the people that are in attendance can really understand how to go about starting to think automation, not just, yeah, I really want to do that, but actually think, like, change the way their brain thinks of like, okay, if I have this software and this software, I can make something work, so I can move those things together. So I don't have to manually do that, or my team doesn't have to manually do that. So there's a lot going on, but we want to make sure that we help you in any way. We meet you where you're at. If you want to learn it, we'll teach you. If you don't want to learn it and you have some extra revenue where you want us to build it for you, we can do that too.
So good. The options, right? I love the fact that one of you, well, Tersch is a contractor. I guess you used to be a contractor, and you got the digital marketing. Like, you bring a lot to the table. So, and it's much needed. Like, even like getting Relentless going. Like, is it? I mean, it's a deal to put all of it in place in your own company.
Well, no, we focus on processes, systems, SOPs like every day. We run on EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, the book Traction by Gino Wickman, and that's all. We talk about that stuff every week, just constantly. And being from the trades, like the last company I worked at, we used to have weekly Monday meetings where our leadership team would meet. We just have this long run-on monthly meeting minutes doc that we would add. We would never have actionable thing. It was just like we just talked about stuff. We didn't actually get anything accomplished. So that like structure and that infrastructure of having like a pre-designed meeting, we can only talk about this for 5 minutes. We can only talk about this for 5 minutes. And then we have 30 or 60 minutes to talk about issues. And then we have to identify, discuss, solve. It's structure. And I think a lot of trades companies just don't have that. And we're just always constantly putting out fires because we don't take the time to sit back and build processes, systems that are automated in the background.
Yeah. Who do you use for your project management?
ClickUp.
Quick question, Josh. Terry was asking, where is the focus on automation going to be held, or is it virtual?
Tap into the Future will be in person in Savannah, Georgia. I actually put the Tap into the Future.ai is the site. The entertainment that first night is going to be watching in the VIP section a Savannah Bananas game, which I hope most of you have heard about by now. The Savannah Bananas are freaking amazing. They are selling out football stadiums for baseball games. Like, they're like the best show in town right now. It's kind of like the circus back in like the 1920s where everyone wanted to attend, but it's sports and it's entertainment. But we're also going to have, I think, one of their president or something speak about being unique in your marketplace. There's a reason, like, if any of you guys know Tersch, he wears the suit and the tie and the shoes. It's because of the story of the Savannah Bananas and the relationship he built with them to be unique in the trades, to be different, and what that means for your business and how to stand out in your marketplace.
And to have better shoes than any girl at the party. I'm like, I'm going to go with better shoes than Tersch. And I'm like, dang it.
He can't walk more than like 30 steps without someone saying, oh man, look at those shoes.
Oh, so good. All right. So what I want to do right now, and Josh, thank you so much for bringing your intel to the table and the structure, right? Because there is a lot to manage for a contractor. They have one of the toughest businesses to run. I'm going to open it up right now. I promise everybody that we have a Q&A. So after the presentations, everyone did such a great job. There is a Q&A. So if we can just open it up to do we still have 30? Oh, we're down to 20 people in the room. Any questions that anybody has, just bring it to the table and we're happy, whoever the marketing or the masters that you want to hear from, what are the questions from the crowd that we can help with before we wrap up? Is it about marketing? Is it about efficiency? Is it about referrals? By the way, I like your t-shirt, Josh. What does the rest of it say? Mindset is everything?
Yes, the clothing brand I like wearing. I think this one's the Valhalla Project. They have some really good ones about just motivational stuff, and I think 10% of the proceeds go to help vets and Wounded Warrior Project and stuff like that.
Oh, so good. Mindset is everything, right? No, it really is. Like for all of us running a business or whatever we're doing, like you can always shift your perspective, and we all need that reminder.